Okay, continuing with our video, as you can see, we're very slowly getting the shape of the raccoon in the way that we want it. That tail a little bit. And the legs are slowly beginning to take form from the inside. Now, what we want to do is we want to draw the nose. So I'm going to kind of just draw a little nose right here so that we don't cut that off, in other words, as we start to work on the face here. So we just basically come to the center and we draw a little line on each side. Right here. And we remove the wood from the sides of it. Just like in the dog, basically. Come in a little ways. Okay. Now, just so we don't cut that off, in other words. Okay. Now, the coon has got a face that basically kind of pulls in, is what I kind of say. Now watch this. I'm going to start kind of, see how I'm moving the knife in sort of a motion like this, in other words. See that? There's sort of a loop. See what I'm saying right there? See how that looks? And that's the way a coon's face is made, in other words. I'm going to do it over here. It's sort of a motion like this, see? Where you just sort of scoop it with the knife, and you can do that, see? You want to be careful. See that? See how it scoops like that, in other words? Now let me take this little portion off here, and this little portion off here. But the coon's face sort of comes in like this. It sort of scoops like this, in other words, see? That's how a coon's face does. The same thing here. Sort of comes to a point, but not actually an actual point. See that? See how it comes in like that? Move that. Move that where the nose is going to be. Like I said, always make the nose a little bit bigger than normal. And there it is. That face kind of just scoops in like that, in other words, on that coon. Like that, see? But you don't take large portions off, just take little small portions off of the face. You can kind of take it and look at it and sort of see what you got. Now, put this little cut in here for the nose. Now the nose may be just a little bit too big. I may have to cut it down a little bit. That's okay. The main thing is see how that nose comes down to sort of a point in a way, but not completely. Go. See how that looks? See how his face sort of just comes to that point like that, in other words? Now, as we come back to the ears in here, and we start bringing those in a little bit, see? on each side. We just bring them in just a little bit, sort of cut around the ear to try to separate the ears. And then we want to take the ear and we want to round off. That's too square. Round off the ears up here. Now, be careful. This is a delicate area. You want to be kind of careful. And then come up here very slightly and sort of dig that out in here where the ears are. You see that? See how we're doing? But the ears are they're still too long. And like I said, the reason I do that is I cut more wood, or I'll make the ears bigger at first, and then I can always cut it down. It's kind of hard to cut it down after you've made it too small. But see how now it's starting to round off? And I'm starting to cut into these ears and bring them back from the face. See that? See what I'm doing? And then we want to bring those ears they come up on that coon. And they kind of come to a point, but you got to bring in you got to make them smaller. See that? Now I need to separate them just a little bit more in the middle here.